I just got done teaching here at the Hit Music Studio, and I wanted to share 5 things to not do, as I sometimes see a lot of my students almost falling into the same pitfall. So if you're the parent of a student that is trying to study and take an instrument class or maybe voice, or if you are someone that yourself is interested in learning, maybe currently taking lessons, check these 5 things that I definitely think that you should try to avoid, just because they don't really like help, and it's one of those things that I see a lot of these things in a lot of my students. So number one is when they are giving something, they're learning from a book, they're learning a specific song, they don't look at the paper. And I'm talking about they don't look at the paper for more than 2 or 3 seconds. So they look at the paper and immediately they try to play whatever it is that they're trying to play. I almost feel like it's good too, as they say, when people like do things with wood and they're kind of like almost, I guess, carpentry, is you want to measure twice and cut once, and that's just to avoid mistakes. I think in music, when you're learning something, you need to look at what you're doing and take a good look and really almost like process that information, because sometimes we jump into practicing something that we didn't take a good look, and we're missing something, and then we're actually practicing something full of mistakes or things that are not how it goes. Number two is especially for piano players, following the numbers that are on the sheet music. So numbers are usually for the fingers. This is finger 1, this is finger 2, and so on. Pinky is 5. So when you are learning a specific piece that has fingerings on it and it says play this G with finger 1, play this B with finger 3, make sure that you've tried to do that right from the start. It's there to help you. So to not use that information is usually gonna make it harder for yourself, and it makes no sense. Why would you do that? So another thing that I find incredibly almost like puzzling is that when I was a kid and when I was like learning, I needed to either call a radio station, and for those of you that are young, you're probably not gonna be able to relate, but I either had to call a radio station and ask them to play the song that I wanted, so I could sit at home and wait to try to record that song in a cassette, or you needed to go to a music store and buy whatever the album was, which was usually pricey, to contain the song that you wanted to learn. Nowadays, everyone has the ability with a phone, an iPad, with the internet, to just go not only to listen to the version of a song that you're trying to learn, but potentially see a live version, potentially see the person that wrote it talking about the song, potentially see rehearsals of the song. So there's so much information when you're learning a song to see the recording, maybe a different version, like a live performance, and get a little bit of the nuances of those. How are they different? What are they choosing to do? But so many of our students do not even listen to anything. They don't listen to the recordings. They don't listen to the things that they're working on. And I think it's such a shame, because you're trying to do something that exists. And music is not papers. Papers, you can throw them all in the trash. The music is sound, and it's almost like not only sound, but the emotional side of what is that sound transmitting. The easiest way to understand a song is to listen to. And ideally, if you're working on something that exists, listen to the person that originally made and put that song together. I think that's a huge plus when you're learning something, because it's going to give you a lot of information of what it is behind this. So you can almost try to pay respect to the original version and how it goes. Now, another thing that I see a lot with my students is that they tend to not practice, especially on piano, directly, like they practice almost not hands independently. So you want to, in music, go in little chunks. You need to go in sections that are like manageable. For piano players, we have 2 hands, and something intricate, you sometimes need to really work on it just with the right hand, just with the left. But a lot of students nowadays, they seem very impatient. So even if you give them a really cool reward for, okay, I need you to do this 500 times with just the right hand, they immediately are trying to do it with 2 hands. And it's almost like that's jumping steps and creating problems down the road that I think it makes no sense to try to do. Now, another thing that I see, and I see this in a lot of students, is like you give a singer a song, they're going to put the song up, they print the lyrics, and sing the whole thing. So it's almost like verse, chorus, bridge, everything in one shot. That doesn't really work. In music, we almost need to process little chunks, and in those little chunks, our ability to be accurate in those little chunks is a lot higher. So as a singer, try to learn maybe like the first 2 lines of a verse and listen to them 5 times, and then sing them 5 times, and then listen to them again. and then try to sing with the original recording and maybe try to take that off and sing it without, but still the verse, let's say 2 lines of the verse or maybe 4 lines of the verse. That is a big deal when it comes to music, because one of the things that I see now with a lot of students that are young, and maybe if you're an adult as well, this is happening to you, is they don't really see the progress that they envision. So it's almost like sometimes people have very unrealistic expectations of what learning an instrument is like, but their expectations are very like, in 3 months I want to be able to do this song, in this much time I want to be able to do that, but they're doing so many things during their practice time that is almost not conducive to progress. So music, and I think it's a beautiful thing of learning an instrument, teaches you to be patient, teaches you to put in the work so you can get the reward. But when you put in the work, it's not at the amount of time that I'm sitting at a piano or with a guitar doing things that are not helpful. So I really want to encourage you to try to pay attention to the quality of the time that you're doing, and to try to avoid these 5 things that I see a lot of my students. So hopefully this video can help someone out there to avoid any of these pitfalls. If you would like more information about what we do, check our main website, thehitmusicstudio.com. We also have a free course for beginners, which I'll try to link in the description of this video, which is perfect if you are an adult and you have never played piano, because it can give you almost like a quick start with videos and sheet music to follow along. We'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Thanks for watching.